how have you felt like in your doing the road, like the last year and even before that? Do you feel like you have to like stifle your political opinions? Do you feel like you end up catering to what you think might be like a red state or a blue state?
I found that I like kind of veer away from politics in general just because I don't really genuinely feel that political. Like my problem is I don't really I don't know, I don't like getting so involved with it. I've always been sort of confused by comics that just want to do politics because it seems so divisive and kind of besides the point of what we're trying to do, but that's just my thing.
I understand that. And like I never understood that. I did get a little like riled up when I was like, oh, free speech is in jeopardy. Like I feel activated because that's like what I fucking do. And like I gotta fight for my rights and so these dick jokes. But like really before that, I completely agree with you. Like I would never like get excited about politicians. I find them like pretty boring. I feel like detached from like the political process. I almost feel like however I feel doesn't matter because it's a machine like bigger than me. But it's good. I think it's always a good rule to like yeah, if you're gonna get into politics, like you should probably know the room because it's so easy to alienate and like at least half the audience.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a choice once you do it. Like I had a joke at one point that was political kind of, but in my mind it was clever because it wasn't political. And I don't do it anymore because one guy walked out once.
Really? That's
that one joke. Well, I don't do it because I just don't really feel that political, so it feels kind of like not me anymore. Okay. But once in a while I like more testing like human nature. Like I like more doing a joke where it might be political, but you don't know that it's political. And it's like, I don't like, for me, what's interesting is how like robotic everyone's become. Like if you talk to anyone now, everyone's like, they use the same words over and over. Like, well, things are getting back to normal.
Yeah, there's so much of that.
There's so much of it where it's like things are getting back to normal because people are getting the vaccine and people are wearing their masks.
It's like a script.
And it's like, oh, so you're being fed the same words over and over. And now you can't veer away from the script. Like, yeah. That's why I like tweeted that thing, like normalize not using the word normalize, like you brainwashed robots.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, these words are driving me nuts, like overusing because to me that seems brainwashed. If you use the words that you're fed, whether it's media or whether it's your friends or, to me, you seem like a robot. You're not thinking for yourself. You can't think for yourself if you're using the words spoon fed to you.
Exactly. Anytime I hear somebody say, even like in chit chat, like there's this lady at the nail salon, oh, things are getting back to normal. I'm like, ugh, you watch too much mainstream media. Like you watch too much TV. Like it's exactly what you said. It's a big red flag that they are not thinking for themselves. And it's like,
and the whole idea of like people being given the free, like we just found out we're allowed to leave the house. I'm like, actually, I've been leaving my house this whole time because I do have the freedom to leave my house.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can tell you you're not allowed to leave your house. They can suggest it, but everyone's like, oh my gosh, I just hugged my grandmother for the first time. And I'm like, I saw my sister, I saw my mom, I saw my friends. I like, don't understand.
Yeah. Like I was in Florida. My dad lives in Florida. I didn't see my dad because he was with his new girlfriend, but you know what I mean? I'm everywhere. I'm out there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was like careful. Like I quarantined before I saw my sister. It's like I quarantined before I saw my friends.
I would have been offended at somebody asking me to quarantine. I'd be like, bitch, we shared a room growing up,
Yeah, I mean, she was someone who got really concerned and very anxious. And to me, the anxiety of this year.
Did she wash her groceries at any point?
Yes, I think she did.
Oh Lord. Oh no.
No judgment, but yeah.
No judgment, but slight judgment. Aw. No, people only know what they're exposed to and like what they're like reading and watching. And
I've always thought that like instinctually fear is a really bad thing for your immune system and for any sort of stress levels. Like if you're fearful, you automatically go into like flight or fight mode.
Oh yeah, right. It
So
taxes your like adrenals.
I refuse to get scared. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to live this year the way I want to live it.
Good for
And
you.
like, yeah. So some people thought I was crazy, but then I'm like, I'm fine, you know, knock on wood. I'm fine a year and a half later.
Yeah. And I was just like you, like I had this just inner knowing that I was going to be fine. I never felt scared. Like I also was like, I'm someone who has not been into watching TV for like a very long time. Like ever since I moved out of my parents' house, like college onward. So what is that? Like 17 onward. And then I moved back with my parents and then moved out again at 26. Never had a TV. Like couldn't care less.
Same.
Got out of watching. I just didn't care. It wasn't until I moved in with my boyfriend and he was like, oh, we gotta have it. Gotta hang up the TV. You gotta have a TV in the bedroom. And I was like, I don't really even care. Like I have so many books that I am using as coasters. You know, I just like was never interested in it. And I think that was like good for both of us because we weren't like were not brainwashed. We weren't like, you know.
I've never been a TV person. I think because I didn't grow up with one until I was like 8.
Wow.
I didn't get one, so I think it's not really like something I need in my life.
Yeah, the people who like have to turn the TV on just to have it on, I'm like, what do you do? Don't like your own peace? You don't like your own thoughts?
I know. I dated a guy who had the TV on all day, like on the news, and I was like, no wonder you're like so distraught by the news. It's on all day.
Yeah, and they're not trying to put you at peace. They're trying to keep you watching, which is to make you insane and anxious and wondering what's coming next.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that you were like, I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to like keep working, keep living my life.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I don't know, it's like almost like my common sense was guiding me through the last year. It's like, yeah, you've made it this far in life without really like changing the way you do things. Like you're probably fine. Like we both of us on planes all the time, shaking hands after shows,